Can I change it right now?
Nope.
I can't?
Nope.
I thought I did. I don't think I did.
It's okay.
Maybe I didn't.
You probably didn't. What's up, everyone?
Hi!
We are live. Hang on, I'm just sharing this, and then I will actually look like I'm paying attention. I don't know how to do this.
We're live.
We are live. I know.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
What is it? This is...
Here we go. Sure.
Did I even put the episode number on this?
Probably not.
Man.
All right. So, anyway, finally got that going. Welcome to episode number 19 of Coffee with Joan and Brent.
Yay!
I don't know what
Welcome!
that move was. What was that?
I don't know. I was excited.
It's dumb.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
It's fine.
People know me already, apparently, I guess.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
So, it has been an amazing day outside.
I know, so nice.
It hit like 82 degrees here.
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
It got a little bit hot.
Strenuously hot.
No, but I'm spoiled. So, it got a little hot. We set out yesterday, like I came inside, I was like, oh my god, I actually got my nose, like, my forehead burned a little bit. In March.
I just got really tan on my forehead.
Wow. I'm sure that's hard to do.
No, actually, it's not.
Thanks, babe.
It's not.
Sarcasm.
But that's okay. But that was a problem before when I used to have to do shows and, compete with, like, the skating dress that would show off a lot of the stuff, like, on your arms. So if I wore anything, like, with,
I like the kids you see them compete and they wore goggles all summer and then they don't look recognized.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we actually enjoyed... Oh, Jesus, Bria.
Hi, Bria!
We enjoyed hiking today. We went out
Yeah.
just because it's like, we need something to do. I don't want to go inside and immediately get hit by corona.
No. No.
Right? So I was like...
No contained areas.
Yeah, so let's be outside before, we all die.
Yeah.
And let's go walk around and enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Right?
It was our family day today.
It was our family day.
Today is family day.
So that was awesome. And then Jack got tired, so we brought him home. Professor, he's watching. Yeah, we were lazy today. We were enjoying family day. So sorry about that. So yeah, we decided after Jack was done hiking, we went home and did the best thing we could think of to do with our time, and we watched Outbreak.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, it's about...
Probably shouldn't watch it.
Oh, I love that.
Seen it.
Well,
No, I'm
if
saying
you're a germaphobe,
if you're a
you shouldn't.
germaphobe, probably shouldn't watch it.
Yes, but it's awesome.
But it's actually a really good movie.
So yeah, decided to watch that, and that was good.
That is a really good movie.
Yeah, it's good. We still have to finish it. We haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to do that.
The monkey's cute though.
Yeah, but there's, obviously there's mass hysteria right now about coronavirus. People are freaking out.
Yeah.
In a way, rightfully so. In a way, we don't know how bad it is, so... And I'm not going to speculate, right?
Yeah,
So,
I don't think there's any...
I mean, we don't know if it's overblown, but the World Figure Skating Championships just got canceled.
Yeah.
So, I was talking to my friend Ben, I was like, oh wow, that really sucks. Like that, imagine to be like those. And I said, you know what, that's what they get for being so damn good. Because if they were like me, and were just a little bit above mediocre, you don't have to worry about those dreams. I never had to worry about dreams of, oh, what if my Olympics or Worlds is canceled? Never had to worry about that.
That's good.
Yeah, see? Set your standards where you can't be disappointed.
Oh, that's good. That's hashtag motivational.
Hashtag motivational Wednesday. Wednesday wisdom. So yeah, no, that was that's kind of a crazy thing.
Yeah,
we don't know if it's overblown or not, but we know that if it spreads like they say it's going to spread, the only thing we can do is keep our immune system as strong as possible.
Yeah.
And because I'm like, I can't just be avoiding stuff, right? Like, I'm not going to go sit in a daycare center, but
yeah,
I can't avoid talking to people.
Yeah.
And at least I know I'm average. Okay, well, you're very basic. So anyway.
I just don't.
Basic Bria.
I made another batch of elderberry syrup.
Yeah. So.
Again, because.
We're shooting elderberry, that stuff. Yeah. Well, because it works with flu. It works with everything, so it's like, well, let's take our chance to take into that and a ton of vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin D. Vitamin D is huge.
You need the D.
Well, I remember a lot of times it would say, the vitamin C, kick up the vitamin C dosage or whatever. But then we found out later that vitamin D was actually the one that was actually
more important.
Vitamin C is still important, but vitamin D as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, too, we've been boosting that, but being out in the sun.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's been awesome.
It was nice.
Oh, look, Joan, your laugh
What?
is her favorite. It's not that great. It's overrated. It's overrated.
Well, you have to listen to it.
I've heard too much of it. Overrated.
You still stay with me, so that's
right. We'll see. For now.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. All right. So, we're just making sure that you take care of that. And the other thing we had a theory on, I never did any research on this to figure it out. But
we're not doctors. We're
not there yet, but
theorizing.
Well, definitely not doctors. Look at us.
We just like having conversations.
We do. We just like running our mouths. But since we've been, we saw that allergist and got all our allergies taken care of, which they are still really good ever since then.
Gosh, it's
but we wonder
amazing.
If your body is still fighting allergens, which it thinks is like an invader.
Yeah.
Does that lower your immune system, and you're not going to be able to fight? That you're not going to be able to fight the virus or sickness whenever it comes.
Yeah.
That's just a theory we had. And so maybe that'd be a good thing if you can go see one of these allergists and I can't deal with Priya. If you're going to go see an allergist, maybe that would help you be able to boost your immune system more.
I must say, it was really nice stepping out these past 2 days and seeing all the flowers on the trees and not having my eyes instantly just puff up into big red eyeballs. Yesterday I did a little bit, but not as much like as it used to. I cannot stress how amazing it was to actually step outside and actually hang out outside in the sun without sneezing my eyeballs out.
Would you say it was amazeballs?
It was amazeballs. But going back to the theory of your body kind of trying to fight, I think too, it's like our bodies are so busy, like they're distracted, right? Like we keep putting stuff into our bodies, like either food or, exposing ourselves to air, apparently. Food or like stuff that we're ingesting, like a lot of sugar, because the sugar can really, really overtake your body. But it's like everything that you're putting in is distracting your body, right? So it's like, okay, go crazy, make sure this doesn't hurt us, go crazy, make sure it doesn't hurt us. And then when an actual pathogen, would that be a good word?
I'm just going to let you struggle. I'm going to let you struggle.
Thank you. Why? I help you out. Anyways,
it's just funny
if a pathogen or something like that happens to come and invade your body, then your body's immune system is distracted from actually fighting that. That's just a theory.
It's a great theory. Hypothesis.
Did I explain that enough?
A hypo. Yeah.
Was that scientifically accurate?
I mean, we're morons, right? So we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Medical morons.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I feel like I don't have the scientific research to back that up. But
no. There might be a study. You can find a study to make anything happen.
Yeah. But I want legitimate studies.
Legit.
Because we've seen studies that are not legitimate.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, the main topic of today's show.
Yeah.
What have we been up to for the past month?
Bum, bum,
bum, bum, bum. First of all, no, she is not pregnant, in case anyone's going to guess that. So if that's what you were waiting to hear, you can just drop off, and it looks like everyone's already pretty much dropped off already. So, for the past 30 days, or 1 month exactly, we've been doing the carnivore diet. Did you want me to explain that? You can, that's why I pointed at you.
Yeah, we've been doing the carnivore diet. If you don't know already, we're already weird.
we're weird as hell, right?
But
we're always looking for the next edge to see if we can make our bodies perform the best way possible.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about just weight loss. We're not talking about whatever. We're talking about
health.
How to be optimal,
yeah.
right? For health. And so once again, for the third time, we're not doctors.
Yeah.
Right? But...
And we're definitely not diagnosing anything.
No.
We're just throwing that out there.
Throwing it out there. Well,
because we might have to.
Right, because I think we're supposed to say that because we can get sued.
For our millions?
For our hundreds.
For our tens?
For our tens of dollars. So, all right, so for those of people who don't know...
The carnivore diet?
What is the carnivore diet?
It's quite literally, you eat only animal products. Dun, dun, dun!
How dare you? How dare you? Okay.
Well, we eat anything like animal.
So there's
animal based.
So there's
like
there's a bunch of different levels of
Yeah.
this of strictness,
Yeah.
right? And you and I did pretty much the least strict.
No. So let's go here. Everybody's
Let me start here.
No, because people have heard of the keto diet, right?
Right.
So it is an advanced version of the keto diet. It's essentially zero carb.
It is. It's zero
carb. So the levels that he's talking about is you can go from the keto diet, which is plant, like you have some plants and you have some,
You basically
you have everything. You just keep everything.
You measure your macros. You keep your carbs probably under 20 a day, but you also have to make sure you have high fat, moderate protein.
Yeah.
Right, and you have to measure your macros and you have to count your calories.
Yeah. So keto, we did that.
We've done that before.
Before we even explain this, I feel like our eating journey has, like
we'll get there. We'll get there. That's the next topic. Okay. Let's just explain the levels.
So keto, and then there was another
Then there's relaxed.
Keto
meat based.
There's keto meat based, which is just slightly
a little bit more strict.
Then there's relaxed carnivore. Then there's strict carnivore, which is like they call it the lion diet. So if we're talking about the lion diet, it's quite literally beef, salt, and water.
That's it.
That's all you eat. And then for the relaxed carnivore diet, which is kind of what we stuck on, was animal products, some spices or whatever if you like want to keep things interesting. You can have coffee or tea.
Yep. Dairy.
Eggs. And eggs and water.
That's it.
So it's
zero carb
meat products.
Yeah, animal products.
Yeah, animal products.
And then just
like
coffee.
you can eat fish and
which is an animal.
Yeah.
Butterflies.
Chicken and if you want to eat
butterflies. And coffee because I was not about to give up my coffee. So we have those levels identified. So why would anyone do the carnivore diet? Like what's the point of it?
So when did we hear about the carnivore diet?
I heard about it over a year ago.
Yeah.
Right. There's a doctor out there, and now there's a couple out there of MDs, but Sean Baker was the one that brought it attention on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And there were all kinds of studies that, basically, carnivore diet is like a strict elimination diet.
Yeah.
Right. You eliminate almost all foods except for meat when you start with. And people that have any autoimmune diseases, it usually helps significantly, heal them.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people would say, oh, we're going to go down to keto, just because sugar and carbs are not really the best for you in general.
Yeah. That's already kind of known. And
so then they said, well, I'm still not feeling optimal. So they cut out the vegetables. And after they did that, their body, everything turned around for them.
Yeah.
Now, it's not for everyone, for sure. But
well, we don't know that. We don't know
that. Some people probably do better on a vegan diet. Some people do better, whatever. But we decided we were going to give it 30 days and just go for it. Yeah. So I had done it almost a year ago when I heard about it. I tried it for 1 week.
Well, why did you do it?
I wanted to see it. I was like...
Did you want to try to lose weight for it?
Yeah, Yes. So I'm a big sugar fiend, and I kind of have an addictive personality. And I'm very lucky that I never got into, like, drugs or anything like that because I have a very addictive type personality. So I have the tendency to say, oh, I'm just going to have a little bit of carbs, and then maybe I'll have a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, I become like an addict, right? I'm just eating a lot of sugar because I'm very triggered by sugar. Yeah. Right? That dopamine center gets firing. So I'm either like an all on or all off type person, right? I have to have very like black or white rules regarding it. So I said, I'm going to try it for a week and just see how it goes. Yeah. And I did it for a week last year. And
I did not.
She did not. It was just me. And overall, I was like, okay, this thing could work. It's really, really boring, right? Like at the time, I got major palate fatigue.
I think,
hold on, we'll get there. I got major palate fatigue. This is after 1 week. And I was like, I can see how you lose weight because when you want a snack, you don't snack, right? Because you're like, oh, do you want a piece of meat? Not really. So that was my initial impression after 1 week last year doing this, okay? So coming around again, I was like, you know what? Like after the new year, I was like, I think I want to go back and really go for the carnivore diet again because I started gaining weight again And also, I was wondering too, I wonder if there's autoimmune things going on with me that I don't quite realize are out there. That I have a problem with inflammation or, joint pain like her. And I thought maybe she would want to do it, but I didn't ask her, right? I just thought, hey, I'm going to do this because some people, like there's someone we follow online, and I mean, she has severe autoimmune issues.
Yeah, since
she had her ankle and her hip replaced when she was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And so she ended up going into this, and it has completely fixed her life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you keep talking. I'm going to turn on the air conditioner on here because it's hotter than hell. So just go ahead. I'm just going to sit right here and just do it on my phone.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So when he did the keto diet last year, I was...
keto or carnivore?
Sorry, carnivore diet. I had previously done low carb and just I ate I ate vegetables.
You were keto.
And
you were
I
keto.
was essentially I was keto, and I tried to be healthy. But then I started having weird like hormonal changes, and so I felt like I kept packing on weight.
Well, this was after Jack was born.
Yes, I kept packing on weight. And I was like, I don't understand. I'm eating really healthy. I'm healthy, and I was working out. I was doing all kinds of things to help me. We're pretty active on the eating.
The health front, we've always been the weird ones, right? Like
Always.
Ever since like people started saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't eat gluten, we kind of looked into it and we could see that leaky gut could be a problem. So we avoided it. We're always the weird ones at restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Like with friends.
I know, sorry.
Right? But then we'd slip back. We'd slip back and forth, right? Because it's just easy. You've been better than me, but I would slip back.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I have as many underlying health issues as you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so after doing keto for a while, I was like, I'm just going to start, maybe my body needs more carbs.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
So I ended up eating
and you actually felt better.
Rice. I felt better. I felt like I had a little bit of energy.
And you lost some weight too.
I lost a little bit of weight, but I always got stuck at a certain area, and everything
what
was
area
still
was
kind
that?
of loose.
What area is that?
I think I was...
obviously, so we'll just say this. Joan's very small. She's only 5'1".
Yeah.
Right? And she's not real big framed.
No.
Right? You're broad through the back naturally, but you're not huge. But after you had Jack, you lost all your baby weight.
Yeah.
And then you went up to...
I got down to 114?
114 right after Jack was born.
Yeah.
Then your hormones got jacked.
Yeah. Then I ended up to 130, 132.
132.
Like without...
You weren't eating bad.
No,
you weren't
I was actually very, very strict with my diet.
But her hormones got kind of wrecked. Now, a lot of you would say, 132 is not bad. But, 20 pounds on a very small frame and also hurting all the time.
I was hurting. My back was hurting more. My joints all of a sudden were like creaking. And I was like, okay, well...
So she definitely attributed that to low carb.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought, because that's the only thing that had...
Right, because in general, women don't do as well, as we've read, on low carb.
On low carb,
right?
Yeah. So that's what the research, or like...
Yeah, we looked it up and we're like, okay, maybe you can't go low carb.
Yeah, current, I guess.
They say like overall men do better on low carb, real low, ultra low carb,
yeah,
and intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Right, which is going long periods of time without eating.
Yeah.
Right?
So then I went back to eating like rice and I didn't go out and binge on like desserts and stuff. I'm actually pretty strict on my diet. I can kind of hold myself back, and the main reason is because I keep trying to reduce my inflammation. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take these supplements. I'm going to use oils. I'm going to use all kinds of different things. I'm going to go to the chiropractor. I'm going to go do this, take probiotics, blah, 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 blah.
Spend a lot of money
and
too on it,
keep just trying to find things. We're always researching stuff. So when he actually started the carnivore diet...
and let me just interrupt you too, is we've always been ones, and we've talked about it on this podcast before, that we don't accept people saying, oh, well, you're just getting older, that's the way it's going to be. We've never accepted that. I mean, we get it when you're 80, you're not going to feel like you're 20. We get that.
Yeah.
But just when people say, oh, you hit 40, everything goes downhill, we just don't accept that. We always think that there's something going on that you can fix.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
So when he chose to do the carnivore diet, last year, I was like, I'm not going to do it because I did low carb, and I didn't feel like I...
And I didn't ask you to do it either.
No, and he didn't ask me to do it. There was no like...
It was all just experimentation.
Yeah. So he did it for a week.
It's like our college years.
he noticed, right. He noticed that he had lost weight, but I guess, again, it got kind of boring. And so there was nothing had happened. So then this year, when you had brought it up, I was actually slightly intrigued because we actually looked into it a lot more.
Right.
You started doing more research. As you started doing more research, I downloaded the book. I was like, oh my gosh, like there are so many success stories. There isn't much research per se.
There's some, but not a lot of studies have been done.
There's not a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
So there weren't a lot of studies, like scientific studies, but there are so many success stories about people reversing their autoimmune diseases, like PCOS. Some people reversed their issues.
Depression, too.
Depression, anxiety. What are other autoimmune things that I've seen?
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Arthritis. Joint pain. And I was like, joint pain?
Yeah.
Anything autoimmune had popped up on a lot of these success stories. And I was like, what is causing this to happen? Like, why?
Well, and we
why are
thought
all these success stories?
maybe that there's something going on, right?
Yeah.
So at the same time, we were getting allergy tested, right? We've talked about that on the show. And I was curious too. I was like, I know I had a lot of food allergies as a kid growing up, but what am I allergic to? And she never knew. Like, she grew up thinking she didn't really have food allergies or anything. But we talked about it on the show that she is allergic to salicylates. Now, salicylates are found in pretty much everything out there except for animal products.
Yeah.
Right? They're found in plants. They're found in coconut oil.
Yeah.
Right? High in coconut oil.
High in coconut oil.
So when we were keto for well over a year.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you were high on vegetables and eating everything with coconut oil, low carb,
healthy
for
diet.
you.
Yeah.
But we think that maybe it wasn't her hormones getting jacked up. It was she was eating stuff that she was allergic to, right? So we got her treated for that, and we're trying to
talk about how the allergies, like if you're consuming something that you're allergic
okay. So there's
to.
a theory though. It is a theory, a hypothesis out there. It hasn't been scientifically proven, but it makes sense.
We're not doctors. I'm just throwing that.
We've already said it. This is the 5th time.
I know, but
if
throwing it in there.
The theory is that if you are eating something that your body is allergic to, your body is going to realize that foreign body, the allergen, is something that's very bad, and it's going to store it away in body fat, because your fat is an organ. So it's going to store it away to protect you from getting it, from it attacking your body. So the theory is that maybe people put on weight easily because their body doesn't like that and they're storing it into fat.
Yeah.
So we look at, she's allergic to all those salicylates.
And coconut oil.
I went and I found out that I'm allergic to friggin' tomatoes, which pisses me off because I love tomatoes.
Yeah.
Spices, like spicy things like capsaicin, black pepper, red pepper, cayenne, all that stuff. Which, by the way, like I couldn't eat anything even moderately spicy without my stomach just being destroyed. It is completely better now.
Throwing up. Like throwing up after.
Thanks for bringing that up. But yes, I was going to say stomach pain, but we'll say throwing up. So that has improved significantly.
Well, now you're not throwing up.
As far as it's gone, right? So this is twofold, right? So we're just going to tell you in a second what our results were, but we want to be very upfront with, look, we were also treating our allergies at the same time. Yeah. Okay? And at the end result, I don't care as long as we're better. Yeah. Right? So let me make sure we're not skipping ahead on what I was going to say. Planning on doing. So, those are the reasons we decided to do it. We decided, hey, look, we see all these success stories. Yeah. Maybe it can help your back, right? Yeah. Maybe I'll lose some weight. And I also thought, hey, if I do have an allergy, it turned out I'm also allergic to rice. And I always told you, like I kept saying, I was like, God, why do I gain weight? Like, even if I don't have that many carbs, I will gain weight very quickly. Yeah. I will put it on very quickly. And, well, it turns out I'm allergic to rice, and I'm allergic to wheat, and I'm allergic to gluten. Well, I avoid wheat and gluten for the most part. Yeah. But rice, I would eat that. Mm-hmm. Not even a ton, just like a scoop every now and then, or for dinner, right? Yeah. Even after working out, and it would just pile it on. So, anyways, we decided, and she was very kind to do this, to do it with me. Yeah. And I didn't ask her to, but boy, when you have a spouse or somebody else in your family that's doing it with you, it makes it way easier. Yeah, it helps. So, well, I wanted to do it especially after reading, like going through story after story, saying
the autoimmune thing is baffling to me, right? But you see these people who are like very, very overweight and physically like just, I don't even know how to say it, like they just look so
Inflamed?
sad.
No.
They look sad. Like they look really, really just upset. But then you see like the after picture and they look like they're glowing.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, it's not even just the weight.
Just look
drop
up,
off,
go on Instagram and just look up like Carnivore Transformation. That's
Yeah.
a great one. So, you know, we kind of talked about why we were doing it. We ended up seeing like Joe Rogan talk about, he tried it for a month and he went through his thing. He was talking about he had like horrible diarrhea for 2 weeks, but then he lost 12 pounds and he's already in good shape and he was keto, but he actually, his joints stopped hurting. He was really impressed. He wasn't sure if he was going to continue after a month, but that's where he ended up.
Yeah.
Right? And we're seeing other, go ahead.
No, he has, he said he had the autoimmune vitiligo.
Vitiligo on his hands. If you look Joe Rogan, I didn't realize this, Joe Rogan has it on his hands.
Yeah.
And after a month, go ahead.
He said he started seeing color come back.
Yeah, it started filling in the spots.
And so that's like a physical indication of, internally sometimes you're like, okay, I think I feel good.
Yeah, I didn't know vitiligo was
sure.
autoimmune.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But it was very telling. I was like, okay, so maybe there is something there's more to it.
That's kind of why I was like, okay, maybe I should just try this out, because not that I was trying to lose weight per se, because I was like, I'm okay.
You were never big about I need to lose weight.
No,
You're fine.
I just want to be like healthy. I want to not hurt. I want my back to like heal. I want it to stop. Like I want my muscles to stop cramping. I want all this kind of stuff to stop. I want my mood to be better. I want to not feel so like drugged down in the morning or whatever. So stuff like that. And I kept reading about it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do this with you.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna do it with you because why not?
Well, it's very helpful.
Why not?
So, like I said in the past too, some of the issues that I ran into last year was just palate fatigue, right? I was just like so over meat, right? I just didn't want it. So let's talk about some of the questions people usually have, and I did too, and they kind of address, there's several doctors out there that are pro carnivore diet. There's books out there, they're pretty good, and they explain some of the things. So one of them is like, okay, if you're just eating meat, like, aren't you going to get constipated? No, has not been a problem. Has not been a problem.
No.
You won't go to the bathroom as often because there's no fiber, so your body's absorbing the meat, right? It uses it, so you don't have to go to the bathroom near as often.
Well, and there's this thing that a lot of I guess experts would say that your body, you need fiber in order to do that, or in order to be healthy, so it can clean out your system. But I guess what they're saying is that no, your body doesn't need fiber because it doesn't even process it once. It doesn't even process it; just goes right through, right? But if you're only eating meat, which our body is kind of meant to break down already, you're using up your nutrients. You don't have much waste to go.
Right, that's exactly right.
Go of.
Right.
But I think what they kind of dispel or whatever is that your body needs fiber, but in essence, I guess it doesn't really need it.
No, well, that's what we found. There's not been a problem there.
Yeah.
Vitamin C, that's another thing. Do you need vitamin C? So it turns out that vitamin C and glucose share a transmitter in your body, right? Or a receptor. A receptor, sorry. Shares a receptor in your body. So if you don't have glucose in your body, which you would get from eating carbs, right? Sugar, then you don't really need vitamin C.
Yeah.
And I will say, though, that beef does have vitamin C in it, especially grass-fed beef.
And that's and if you're not consuming the glucose isn't taking up all of the receptors, which means that when you're eating the glucose, your vitamin C intake needs to be higher. Right. But if it's not there, then the vitamin C that you have, that you get from the animal products is sufficient.
Right. Supplements. We did not take any. Okay, so we're just upfront. We did not take any supplements while we did this. I am not opposed to it. Joe Rogan did. I'm not opposed to it. But we just figured, you know what, we're going to do this 1 month and just see how we feel. We didn't want to add in supplements and all kinds of stuff. We wanted it to make it very kind of clean.
Yeah.
Cholesterol is another thing, because it's still an old myth that, oh my God, if you're only eating meat and you're eating fat and you're eating cholesterol, your cholesterol is going to skyrocket. And that has been disproven, that what you eat has nothing to do. If you eat dietary cholesterol, it does not affect your internal cholesterol.
Yeah.
Your liver produces cholesterol based on what you need. So if you're stressed or if you're injured, your body's going to produce a lot more cholesterol to help heal your body.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not eating a lot of cholesterol, it doesn't matter. Your body's going to produce its own if it needs it.
Yeah.
So eating meat and eating cholesterol is actually only helpful for your brain. Your brain needs it. It's mostly made out of water and cholesterol.
Yeah.
Okay. Blood work. Have we done any blood work? No, we have not done any blood work yet, okay? So we have finished our 1 month. We're going to go back to our doctor soon, and we're going to get blood work, and then we're going to talk about it from there.
Yeah.
Okay? So, those are kind of the main questions people have about it, right? Like, don't you need vegetables, like, for the minerals and all that stuff you need? Well, actually, if you're eating enough good meat and you're eating organ meat, it contains all the stuff that you really need.
Yeah.
Do you need fiber? No, that has not been an issue with it. Do you need vitamin C? No, because the vitamin C in the beef will suffice as long as you don't have carbohydrates and glucose in your body.
Yeah.
So supplements, I didn't think we needed any. We'll see when we get our blood work done, but we're just being very upfront with that. So, results. What have you experienced? It could be 100% anecdotal, right? There could be some stuff. But we're just going to tell you our unbiased results. What we felt, we'll tell you if we think that it has anything to do with it, or it could just be something else. It could be just eliminating allergens, right? So let's go first with you, Joan.
Well,
Let's start with topics. Physical.
Okay.
Let's start with weight.
Okay, wait. I lost 10 pounds.
Okay, you lost 10 pounds in 30 days.
Yeah. I lost 10 pounds, and I've kept it off. And I've been eating, like, there were a couple of days in there where I kept eating. Like, I just was so hungry.
That's one thing we should have discussed. When you eat the carnivore diet, right? You don't have to track your calories. You don't track your macros.
You don't have to fast.
You don't do any fasting. You eat when you're hungry. You don't eat when you're not. That's the only thing, right?
Rule.
So to watch her eat like a 2-pound steak is normal. So
I would
was there ever a time? Well, was there ever a time though that you had stopped eating and you were like, I'm just so hungry, I wish I could eat more? And what I mean by that is that you had to stop. You were not allowed to continue eating.
Oh,
like,
no.
Was there
like,
ever a time on this diet where you were just hungry, where you're like, I'm just...
Where I couldn't eat?
Right.
Like, no.
No.
Like, I would just keep eating.
There was no caloric deficiency as far as that goes.
No.
Right? If you were hungry, you eat something.
Eat
and
an
if
egg.
you're eat an egg, you and I for breakfast would split a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So, you lost 10 pounds.
I lost 10 pounds.
Okay. I lost, what was I? I was 190. I lost 13 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1 month. 13 pounds, 9
and
pounds.
we didn't even change anything.
No, actually, that was the other thing. We wanted to keep it this way. We did not change our workout.
Yeah.
I did not want to change that and be like, oh yeah, I lost all this weight, but I added in running, an hour every day. We didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just,
in fact,
we wanted to
because of injuries and just time and working all the time, we've actually worked out less, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
it's not what we wanted to do. We actually wanted to work out more.
but we kept it consistent.
We kept it consistent
because we wanted to be, good little scientists.
Yeah.
So so you lost 10 pounds. You lost 10 pounds. I lost 13.
And I noticed my body composition was getting
I agree.
different.
Yes.
Like, as opposed to looking like a rectangle.
So instead of looking like this bottle, this straight tube,
rectangle, I actually started getting like
a slight hourglass, like one that you would still send back to the store, but hourglass shaped nonetheless.
Oh, this is like too big.
It's like an hourglass that if you got from Amazon, you'd send it back with a note that says, "Have you guys seen an hourglass before?"
The time's going a little bit faster
right.
than this one.
Right.
But yeah, my body composition had changed, and the weird thing is, I was like, I think I'm actually gaining muscle. Like, I felt like my arms started feeling like
swole, bro.
I wouldn't say swole, but they were feeling a lot more
swole,
like tough. And same with my legs. Now, obviously, I think you'd obviously have to go and lift more and do a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna be there for sure.
And
we haven't had like the body fat percentages pulled like scientifically since we started this, right?
No. So this is all just kind of seeing it,
right? At
this point,
right?
What else did I feel?
Well, I would say like on that body composition thing, I had before pictures and I have current after pictures, and I'm not putting them online until later. But I now feel like I'm now an upside down pyramid more, right? I feel like I'm wider in my shoulders and I'm starting to taper down, and I'm not a regular pyramid. So I feel like that is something important as far as the looks side.
Yeah, physical stuff.
Physically, joint pain. How are you doing on joint pain?
So my joint, like in general, my joints feel like not crackly. Like I'm not every time. I thought it was a habit just because I was like, I'd always try to crack my wrists or I'd always try to crack my ankles because it's just so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that.
Okay.
I would get you know how I'd get muscle knots.
She gets
all the
bad
time.
knots, like ropes along
Bad
her back.
knots. I mean, you can ask our trainer. There's just knots.
Yeah.
Those have gone down significantly.
I haven't had to sit there and really dig into your back since we started this.
Yeah, I still do my mobility exercises,
Yep.
so I think they're holding better,
Yep.
right? Like I'm able to go like that without it being weird.
So you do your little, whatever it's called, where you do like your little mermaid thing and you try to touch your feet to your toes.
Yeah.
Or your feet to your head. And before, her feet were like this far, and now it's like here. It's still terrible.
Yeah.
But it is better.
But there's progress.
There is progress.
So that's like anytime I feel anything, I'm like, Brent, does it look better? Does it look better? And he actually said, yes, seriously, not.
Yeah, not that
Not
sarcastically.
the,
It still looked terrible, but it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah. But it was.
I don't really have joint problems that much, so I'm going to say no, I haven't really noticed much, although I haven't had my plantar fasciitis in a while, but...
That is true. You actually didn't...
I haven't bitched about that, but
yeah.
I don't know if that's that or not. That may have been gone before then. That may have, so I'm not going to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, any other stuff? Any other anecdotal things? Like, how was your sleep? Because I think... actually, I know the answer. We've both been sleeping better.
Yeah, a lot better. More, like...
Deep.
Soundly. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, and I don't think we actually get full 8 hours.
Right.
We try to, but
No, it's not that though, because I feel like I've been actually waking up earlier on my own.
That's
no
what I mean.
alarm,
I don't
less
think
sleep, but I feel well rested in the
yeah,
morning.
that's what I mean.
Right?
Like, I don't think that we get the full 8 hours, but I think that we're actually getting quality sleep because, like today, even I was like, I think I'm actually dreaming. Like I've had dreams. I don't remember the dreams, but
right.
I've had dreams recently. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I feel like my energy has overall stayed more steady throughout the day. I haven't been dying to go take a nap in the middle of the day, which has been big for me. Because I always like around like 1 or 2, I'm like, oh my god, Jack needs to go take a nap because I just need to go lay down. Mm-hmm. I haven't really felt that. And then also, it's just anecdotal, but watching TV at night, usually I'm the worst. I'm like dozing off.
Oh,
bad. Like bad.
Ask
but
friends.
It's been a lot better. Like maybe it has to do with what we're watching and I'm more excited about it, but like I'm like we could stay up till 11 and I'd be like, hey, do you want to keep going? I don't know, we probably should go to bed.
Yeah.
And so that's different. And then anecdotally, because this is so 100% not a doctor diagnosing me, but I had heard at one point, but I kind of forgot about it. Someone said that their vision started improving on this. And I said, okay, let's take a look. And remember at one point I didn't have my contacts in the morning. And I was looking around and I was like, I feel like my vision feels somewhat better.
Yeah.
But let's see. So I went online and I printed out a little eye chart. And I didn't look at it. I just put it up there. And then it said stand back 10 feet. So I measured 10 feet. And then I looked without my contacts in. And then I read down to whatever line it was, right? I was able to read like 3 or 4 lines down. And then it shows you, like they have 20/20, 20/30, 20/40, whatever. Whatever that one was, that number was. Then I put it into like a little calculator on Google to show you what your prescription should be.
Yeah.
And according to this, and it could be bull, right? So just take that for a grain of salt. It could be complete bull. But my vision went from a -3 to like a -1.75. I don't know. I'll find out next time I go to the optometrist, right?
Yeah.
So I'll report back on that. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So far after 30 days, that's what our results were. Now, some of the things we noticed, there were some rough things when we got going.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right? So first thing is, okay, how do you avoid palate fatigue, right?
Yeah.
So if you're just eating ground beef every day,
yeah,
and you're not eating enough, you're going to get really, really sick of it, right? So what helped us a ton is like eating steaks, eating bacon, and then adding in eggs, which makes it not necessarily that strict a carnivore, but adding in eggs and dairy Like that helped a lot.
I couldn't have dairy for the first like 2 weeks because I hadn't been treated for it yet.
From the allergist.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, the whole eating fat makes you fat is just bull.
Yeah,
because,
it's total crap.
Have you ever heard of a Flying Dutchman from In-N-Out? Right? It's all you just go to In-N-Out. You just ask for a Flying Dutchman.
You have to get it.
You just ask for a Flying Dutchman. It's meat, cheese, meat, cheese. That's one of them. Okay. Usually I go there now and I order 4 of them. So that's 8 meat patties and 8 cheese patties, and I usually get half of her cheese. So it ends up being like 11 slices of cheese on that. And I would do that consistently, like 3 or 4 times a week, right? Like I said, I'll still get my numbers checked for all you old skeptics about cholesterol.
Yeah.
But I've still lost 10 pounds, right? So I'm down to 177. I haven't been down to that weight since I think while we were on tour with Disney or before, and that was over 10 years ago. Okay. I feel good. Was there some sort of intestinal distress? Yes. Like Joe Rogan said, mine did not last 2 weeks. Mine lasted a couple of days. Yeah. Right? I'd say my biggest problem was I was eating things and I was getting really nauseous. And it turned out I went to Dr. Audra and there was stuff that I was allergic to in like barbecue, like amines, where those are when you cook like brisket or you cook ribs or sausages and you cook them for a really long time and they're aged, they create histamines, and that made my stomach feel not good. Yeah. So after she treated me for that, I've been fine. Yeah. Okay, so that was my issues with it. And then I also have that big sugar addiction problem. So, I was very good. I didn't have anything that would go off the diet except for coffee, black coffee in the morning, right? Or sometimes I put cream in it. But I've noticed that ever since week 3 hit, my cravings for sugar have gone down significantly. Yeah. Right? Now, when I walk into like a grocery store or something, wherever a bakery's going, you can smell like that cheap, those cookies. Oh my God, it smells so good, right? Yeah. And I can still feel it trigger that dopamine thing. Yeah. But overall, my sugar cravings are a lot better. And the beautiful thing about it is if you're on that, because I'm either all or nothing, if I'm like, I want some sort of snack, well, okay, I'm going to go in the pantry and eat what?
Pork rinds.
Right, pork rinds. That's the only snack you can really eat, or a cheese stick. But I can't just sit there and just mindlessly snack on like nuts or popcorn, whatever. I can't. So that's the other way you lose weight, right? But you're only filling yourself up with super nutrient-dense food. Yeah. So those were the things that I noticed. Did I ever get sick of it? Like, oh my God, I just really am tired of eating meat and cheese and eggs. Yes. Yeah, especially at the beginning. She didn't, but I have such a sugar crave. It's like, God, I would really just like a piece of cake or even a piece of fruit. Lord help me. But I know that if I go and I eat a piece of fruit, then all of a sudden it's going to be like, and then there's cookies, right? Yeah. So I stayed really strict on it. There was one day that we went to a friend's gathering, and they made a special dessert specifically for us that we could eat without gluten because we weren't telling people about this diet. We wanted to keep it to ourselves. So we did have a small slice of this amazing cake, and that was probably, 2 weeks in?
Almost. Yeah, I think it was the start of the 3. So.
Yeah, so that was the only time we ever, quote-unquote, cheated. And we felt all guilty about it, but I said, no, it's just one little day. So that was our only thing that we really went off it. And it's been great. Yeah. Okay, I think I've
noticed your skin looking a lot better, by the way, too.
Because I got tan. See how red I am?
No, I think I've noticed your skin looking brighter, if that makes sense.
It's glow. All right, so now you, Miss Joan, you had a rough time at one point. At the beginning. At one point,
but I think there was a lot of things going on that first week.
Yes, but the biggest thing that you had was what was known as the keto flu. Okay? And let's just say, you're looking at me like I just blew your story.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so let's just say that I'm glad that the keto flu hit you before Corona came around. Yeah, because it leaves you freaking out, right?
So day 3. Yeah. Day 3, because we started on a Monday.
We did.
And day 3, I was feeling okay until like the morning, and I just started getting like cold. Like, when you start getting cold and you're just like, you can feel all your clothes and whatever. I started feeling it, and I was like, I'm hungry, but I'm not really that hungry. But what was weird is mentally, I was like fine. Because you know when you get sick, when you get like actually sick, like you get brain fog, you get all kinds of like mood stuff, your skin gets like, I don't know, you can't function. I was totally fine up here, but my skin was just, it felt like I was just so cold. I was like, am I feverish? I don't understand.
Yeah, like,
so
well,
then
yeah.
It went throughout the day. And I was like, can we have like bone broth or something? I'm just like...
I went home, I went and bought like chicken backs and were like boiling and trying to give me some sort of bone broth because I read that if you have keto flu, that's something you can do because you need to have more salt and you need just those nutrients that will help you through it. Yeah. Which we'll get to that later.
And it was, it was interesting because by the end of the night, end of the night, I was like, okay, I'm really cold, but I just like, I feel like I'm sick, but I'm not. Like, I don't, it was really weird because it was like my body was sick, but everything up here was fine.
And I checked her. I was like, I felt her head. I was like, oh, you feel hot. And I checked
but I wasn't,
you. And what was your temperature? It was like 101 or something like that. But you almost never, I don't think maybe once I've ever seen you or twice ever have a fever, right? Yeah.
So and I was like, I don't really get sick, but I was also like, I wasn't coughing, I wasn't sneezing, I wasn't...
She was nothing, but at that point, I was like, uh-oh, I think she's got the flu, right? Like the real flu. So I said, you know what, Joan? I know we're on this carnivore thing, but let's not like hurt ourselves with the flu. So I was like, please just take a shot of elderberry, right, that you make, and elderberry has honey in it. I was like, I know this is going to take you out of your, thing, but let's just get you healthy and then we'll get going. And maybe 3 or 4 hours later after you fell asleep.
Yeah, the fever broke.
Boom, done. Done. It was completely done. Yeah. So that was her body like, I just need carbs, I'm freaking out, and then it relaxed. And you didn't have any problems after that.
Anything after that.
You've been completely fine.
Yep, I was fine, and...
So...
Go ahead.
No, babe. Go ahead.
I don't know what else you were going to say.
Okay, well, no, I was just going to say, so if you're going to do something like this, we really recommend that you make sure that you have the proper electrolytes going. And she probably should have weaned yourself off carbs, right? Because you were just like normal higher carb. I wouldn't say high carb, but higher, rice a couple times a day or whatever. Yeah. And then all of a sudden just straight nothing, right? And I'd gone low and high and stuff like that. So my body was more ready for it as far as that. I didn't have those symptoms. Yeah,
I don't know. I did the all or nothing too, and I was committed, and I was like, no, don't take anything. So, but I was fine in a sense. So clearly that I didn't get sick, but it was an interesting day.
Right, for sure. I was thinking you were really sick.
But but then I was fine after that. The next day continued on the.
Like nothing happened.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
All right, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was kind of like reassuring. Mm-hmm. So then we've kind of looked in more recently into what can you do to avoid that. And one of the things is there's a company out there called Element, but it's just spelled LMNT. The website's drinklmnt.com. No, we're not paid for that because nobody pays us for any of this stuff. So it's a think of electrolytes, right? And those are things that people that do keto or carnivore, very low carb people need these electrolytes. And it basically consists of magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Right? Because you're not getting enough salt on those diets. And then no sugar. Some are sweetened with stevia, others are unflavored. Yeah. Right? And so we tried one today with a 32-ounce glass of water. So we will see how that goes. But they're a little bit pricey. They're about $1 a packet each. So I was like, okay, well then that's...
Well, there's a convenience factor.
There's a convenience thing. But what we did is we went out and we made our own today, afterwards. Yeah. So we're going to save the little packets for the road. We made our own. We'll report back next week how they've been working, if we've noticed any difference. Yeah. But I think that the electrolyte should help you feel better and give your body what it needs. Yeah. So, Joni, now, our month is over. Where are you going from here? With carnivore, are you back to where you were? Are you going to stick with it? Are you going to do a modified thing? Where are you?
I like where I'm at. Honestly, I feel good, and I feel like there's progress going forward. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is like a crucial. I think I'm going to keep going. I think I'm going to at least try for another 30 days. Okay. Or not be as strict, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I'll have, because we also did like no alcohol during that time. during that time. But we did no alcohol. But like, I think that we will relax a little bit on like a day or something. I'm not like super I don't go crazy like that. So just, that's okay for me. But I'll have like maybe a keto dessert or something, and that's about it. But I'll continue. But
once in a while though, right?
Yeah. But I think moving forward, I think I'm gonna just keep going on it. Mm-hmm. I feel like my body does really well with it. I'm curious too, as I'm healing, because my back is feeling like less stressed. Mm-hmm. It really is. Like, I'm starting to feel like looser, and I'm like noticing that. I know my abs need some work, but I don't know if like they're just turned off. But I can now like address them. Mm-hmm. Just like before, I felt like that there were some underlying issues, but we were just trying to.
How many pant sizes did you lose, by the way?
2.
Yeah, you lost 2 pant sizes in a month, and you didn't change anything except for just what you were doing.
No, and the goal, like my goal, isn't to just lose a bunch of weight and just be super skinny. That's not my goal. That's not my goal at all.
No, it's never been your goal.
I've never wanted to be that way. I want to be strong, and I feel like continuing with this, I'm going to be able to be strong, because then I'm going to have muscles that actually, support me. And then I can go back to like lifting regularly, as opposed to just kind of like waiting there and letting this thing heal.
No, that's
right.
Huge.
I can go and be active. Mm-hmm. Like, that was my goal. It's like, I just want to heal and be active, and, try to clear myself of any inflammation, because I kept doing that stuff. Right. And I don't know.
Your back locks up.
Yeah. And
that could also be an electrolyte thing. We're not sure yet, so we'll find out too about that.
It could be, and I think eating this way is going to help at least eliminate a lot of the stuff that I'm allergic to. First of all,
right?
Again, you don't have to with the salicylate stuff. I don't have to avoid it at this point.
But you're not.
But I'm not going to overdo it, because it can still kind of kick back. Because if my body doesn't like it, then it's just not going to.
So for those of the people who are watching, all 3 people that are online right now. If you were to take all the things that you've done as far as diet, right, through your lifetime, you've had caloric restriction, you've had I'm sure you've had low fat at one point in your life, because everyone has. You had low carb, you had keto, and you had carnivore. Okay, which one of those, besides just eating normally, right, but aside from that, which one is the easiest one to stay on so far after 30 days?
Easiest one to stay on?
Yeah, which is the easiest one to maintain?
Oh, the relaxed carnivore.
The one we're on right now.
Yeah, relaxed carnivore. If I were to do like super strict,
like lion, just beef, salt water,
that might be that would probably be tougher.
It'd be just palate fatigue, right?
Palate fatigue, but I don't know. But like, the thing is, if that's what's going to help you, because again, I'm not eating to just. I love food, love to eat. I love to do it, but at the same time, I don't want to be consuming things that are going to just be hurting me, right? I'm not going to just keep eating a chocolate cake, because I would love a piece of chocolate cake,
right?
But
it's not just gaining weight.
No, it's not about the weight gain, and I think that's the problem with a lot of the
people. They just assume eating bad foods is just with gaining weight,
equating to weight, and I don't see it that way. Actually, I know it's not that way,
right?
Because the food that you consume is important. Right? So let's say I'm not saying, hey, everybody needs to go on a carnivore diet. I don't believe that at all. I think for some people it'll probably be incredibly beneficial, because if it's benefiting me in a way.
Well, we know a lot of people that have autoimmune things.
Yeah.
And I would just tell them or ask, like, if you have something that you have an autoimmune thing, just try it. Try it for 30 days.
Try it, or just check it out. Like, read up about it. Read the success stories. That's what
DM us. Seriously, this isn't a thing about pro-meat, pro-vegan, anything. No, right?
It's not
I don't
that.
care. If you're vegan and that works for you, good for you.
Yeah.
Whatever. But this is what's working for us. So if you want some help to learn about us, message us.
Yeah.
We'd love to just talk to you about it.
I would love to help. And I think, so I wanted to talk about it with people before, but
you'll get pushback for sure.
I was nervous about that, and I actually talked about, like, on one of my Monday motivation things, about like the fear of success, essentially, or it's just a fear of it's a fear of sharing, like, what we're doing, because I know there's a lot of pushback on, well,
Well,
you're
different?
crazy.
Are you different?
Yeah, and I didn't want to say anything because I was nervous that people would just like look at me weird or whatever. Because a lot of the stuff that we talk about, like health wise,
well, we've got that a lot.
I talk about like oils and stuff. Well, these are plants, right? And I utilize them more as tools.
Right.
I utilize them more as
tools.
Well,
even when we started with low carb, that was one of the very first thing we did was low carb, right? That would be about 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago we started low carb, and people were like, okay. But we just did that seriously. We did low carb strictly for weight loss, 100%.
Yeah.
Right? And then we got a little bit more, did more research, and maybe we should cut out the gluten. Yeah. And then maybe we should go paleo, because that makes a lot more sense. Okay, well then we're paleo and low carb, but then you feel like your hormones are getting messed up, even though it's salicylates. Yeah. Because sweet potatoes are high in that too.
Yeah.
And then maybe, okay, now you're back eating rice. You never went off of like a paleo, except for rice.
Yeah.
But now you've gone to this, and you've experienced great results with it. I've noticed that my thoughts are they started off a little bit different than yours. Like I thought, okay, I definitely like where I'm at. Right? I noticed, possibly anecdotally, but 2 different people during my jiu-jitsu class just mentioned to me, like, oh my God, have you been working out? You feel so much stronger. Yeah. 2 people.
Well, you didn't mention anything.
I didn't say anything about it. No, I'm not like that. So I was like, oh, really? Like, I'm feeling stronger? Oh, that was the other thing, though, I did notice. It took me until about a week ago to start feeling good energy while I was working out in jiu-jitsu. I get tired real easy. Like, my legs would burn. Right? And I looked that up, and it's just because I wasn't fat adapted yet. I wasn't 100% adapted to using fat as fuel. Yeah. So I get tired. I don't have any glycogen, so I get tired. But now I feel my stamina is completely there. Yeah. Right? And that's when I had 2 other people to say, oh my God, like, have you been lifting a lot? No, I haven't been lifting at all. Yeah. So that's kind of a cool thing. I want to maintain that. I've already dropped a couple inches off my waist. I feel like I look better, and I don't want to give that up. So I think I'm going to do the exact same thing you're doing. I'm going to keep going. If I'm going to have a day where I get off the thing, it's going to be for 1 meal, and it has to be 1 day a week. It's going to be Saturday or Sunday. It has to be one of those things. And I can't, and the other thing is I can't just go like, oh, I'm going to have a huge cake, right? That's stupid, because I will do it, right? But if I'm going to have, a slice of cake, okay, well, it's on 1 meal, and that's not going to hurt me, right? Because, 90% of my other meals are all great.
Well, yeah, you're looking long term.
Long term, because I want to make sure I can sustain it, right?
To me, this seems like super sustainable.
I have noticed though that after I had like even that chocolate cake that one time a few weeks ago, I wasn't like craving
jittery.
After that. Not that, just like I just yeah. So I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna give it another 30 days, maybe another 60 days, and just report back and see how we're doing. Yeah. Because I'm feeling good results. We'll also go get some blood work done, because that's just be interesting to see. Yeah. The other thing I did talk about last week, and I saw another guy talk about it, is that his gum disease completely reversed itself on this diet. And when we went to go see Dr. Kenny, who is actually going to be our guest on the show next week.
Is it next week?
Yeah.
Cool.
He said that I didn't have any gum disease, and before every dentist has always bitched about my teeth. Your gums are inflamed, and this guy said I have no issues with it. Once again, could be anecdotal, just like my vision, but I know I look better. I know I'm getting stronger, and so it's not that hard, and I can eat Flying Dutchman. So I'm definitely going to keep it up for another 30 days. Yeah. Talk to us. We can tell you where to look up some books and see if it's a good fit for you. Yeah. We're not doing this to just be like, meat, meatheads. We just really want to make ourselves healthy. Yeah. So some people will, think we're weird about stuff. Yeah. But you know what? We're used to it. But like we said, keep your immune system really strong. We've eliminated things that our bodies could be allergic to. Mm-hmm. We're going to boost ourselves with elderberry, which is a plant. Yeah. Vitamin D.
But I'm going to take my chances with that, just because I'm not gonna. I know that the elderberry has.
If I die from corona, you can put on my headstone and be like, "It was that damn plant."
I was again. I think I literally told 1 or 2 people.
We kept it pretty
maybe,
quiet,
just because I wanted to keep it to myself, but also just I don't know. I didn't want to be judged.
I did tell my jiu-jitsu coach because, like, hey, just so you know, like. My legs are so tired right now. I'm getting gassed really easy. Yeah. The first couple weeks. and then he hasn't mentioned it since, and I've gotten better. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Really like it.
I like it. I feel good.
It's simple too, because every time we go to the store, we buy some BS vegetables and not know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And it turns out you're allergic to it already.
Yeah.
God. So it's like you see this plate and like, aren't you gonna have some vegetables with that? And you're like, no,
because I'm allergic.
Good. I'm good.
Also,
but I would like to have that blood work done too,
Yeah.
just to back it up. Be like, look, our cholesterol's good, which I'm almost guaranteed it is gonna be.
Yeah.
The one guy, Sean Baker, who's a doctor, he went and had the scan where they show the plaque buildup of your heart, and it showed 0 buildup, and he's been doing this for 3 years, right?
I'm curious to see about my thyroid function too.
That'll be a big one because you're not on carbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thyroid function, but yeah.
That'll be a good one because
we
we'll report exactly what we have. That'll
Yeah.
be a good episode, and who knows, maybe our cholesterol sucks and we're feeling like crap or our things are, but I just think a lot of times you can base it on how you feel, and I feel good and you feel good too.
Well, that's the basis of it, right? It's like, what is health? It's essentially the absence of illness.
Right.
So
boom, good one.
we're not, well, no, that was
Nice.
just definition from the book.
Right.
But that's what we all kind of aim for. But I wanted to talk about it before. I wanted to talk through the process, but luckily you were doing it with me, so I could talk with you.
Well, and I want to thank you, Duke,
process.
for doing it with me, because you were a big help with that.
Well,
because if it was just me and you're just like, well, I'm gonna eat my rice, I
Yeah.
would have fallen off that wagon so quick.
I think what kept me going for probably the first week was the weight kept dropping off. So that was, for me physically,
It's helpful.
that was very, very helpful to see. Now, after a while, it kind of tapered off, but my energy level, I can tell. Actually, when I started, right before I ate, or right before I got treated for dairy, right before I got treated for dairy, I tried to have a little bit of cheese just to see if it would work, and my nose and my eyes would just start itching and going crazy, and I was like,
Yep.
what happened? So then the next day I got treated for that dairy, and
I'm telling you.
what's that? Oh, my arm. Yeah, my arm. That's cute.
It is cute.
But I can see what is triggering things now, right? I can see what my body's reacting to now.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, right? Because you eliminated everything.
Yeah.
Right? Then when you add in a little bit.
Yeah, it shows up easier, as opposed to it, you just take in everything and you're like, I don't know. Why do I feel like crap? I just don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that we were able to kind of talk about it with each other, because I wanted really badly to talk about it. But then my fear of just looking weird again, because I am weird, just talking about it and getting pushback and whatever, because I see a lot of the people who have had success stories, and they keep getting pushback from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Obviously they had the good, the motivational stuff, and people were talking about how amazing it is that they had this transformation, blah, 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 and they were encouraging. But then you get a lot of the other people who are actually being quite vicious about, how they're, I don't know. It was a lot, and, and I thought a lot I thought a lot of my friends would probably just think I was even more weird than I already am.
I'm sure they will.
Or wouldn't, believe me on a lot of things, because, my I guess reputation or whatever, as what I am as a person. I don't know. I just thought all these things were going through my head as to why I didn't want to talk about it during the whole process, until I saw something happening.
And if you and I came out of this month and we had either gained weight, or your joints are worse, or we just don't feel very good, we would have just said hey, we decided to try it, because it's still good to talk about what we did. It's still a good show topic. You'd be like, hey, we tried the carnivore thing, it did not work, but we're happy, we're pleased to say that it did work. It worked very well.
Yeah.
So
I think, like we said,
we'll try another month, and we'll report back
and see how we feel there.
But even when I go back and I just see old pictures of me, even 6 weeks ago, I was like, oh my gosh, my face was so more full.
Yeah,
right?
Bloated.
So, maybe I'm gaunt. Who knows? But we'll see.
What did you say, the axe murderer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our opinion on the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
So we will report back in another 30 days Next week, we still have to schedule it, but we should be having our 20th episode with Dr. Kenny Wilstead and his wife.
Yay!
So, yeah, we're going to record that, I think, in advance because they live a little further from us, and just for us to do that with live TV and a kid, or live Facebook and a kid, it's not going to work out. So we're probably going to record that, and then we'll put it on next Wednesday.
Cool.
All right?
Do you have anything else coming up this week?
No, I mean, I've got a ton of, like, as far as business, I've got a ton of business that has just floated in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I know I've put in work, but, like, I've had a bunch of just referrals coming, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
good.
Yeah, I was like, where the hell were you last year? Last year when I was freaking out.
Ready for
I wasn't ready for it, but I'm ready for it now, and
Yeah.
business is friggin' amazing
Yeah, but
right
you had to.
Well, my goal was to close 40 homes this year.
Yeah.
Right? I've done 3 last month. I'm going to do another 3 this month, and probably another 3 next month. So maybe even more. I've got to step up the pace a little bit because 3 a month is going to be 36. I've got to step up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I am going to hit it though because summer's going to get even hotter. So
Yay.
yeah, whoop whoop.
That's
so
cool.
maybe one day we'll be doing our podcast from our boat with 12 people watching. So, all right, anything else for you?
No, I just hope that, if you watch this, that we can at least help somebody out there with something.
For sure.
Like a health.
That's the
like
whole point of this podcast is
Yeah.
to help people.
Yeah, I just, I know the benefits I feel from it are pretty big, and I know the benefits from a lot of the stuff that I do are pretty big, and they're kind of weird, but at the same time.
Well, we're always ones to try weird things if there's something that could make sense. If there's a reason.
But we'll also say, okay.
It sounded nuts to me when I first heard it. I was like, really? I thought all the same things. Like, and even as weird as I am as far as food, I was like, wait, you're only gonna eat meat?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you gonna get constipated? Like, I thought all that stuff, but I did my research. So, if it sounds crazy to you, that's good. That's normal. It means you're questioning it.
Yeah.
Yes, you should question me. Go look it up. Look up carnivore diet and don't look at it on the mainstream pages. I mean, you can read that, but you're also going to read about, like, you should eat a whole balanced breakfast of, Fruit Loops every day.
Yeah.
Right? But, I mean, just look up the carnivore diet. There's a new book. What's it called?
The Carnivore Zone?
No, keep talking. I'll find it because I want to say the name.
No, I hope this helps somebody out there. I just saw like amazing stories from different people, and I can't discount them.
The Carnivore Code by Paul Saladino. He's another MD that's out there. So, and they have really good Instagram stuff. The other Instagram account was Sean Baker's. He's the one that started the carnivore diet. So his Instagram is Sean Baker 1967. Carnivore MD is the other Instagram account for Paul Saladino. Those are just two of the doctors that are out there that are promoting this carnivore thing. So really look into it. And if you think it's not for you, then definitely don't do it.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. Find a doctor that's a little bit crunchy and weird. But or talk to us and we can kind of fill you in on what we did but we hope this is a good stepping stone to get you moving. If you've stuck, if you're happy with exactly how you are, then don't change anything. But if you're looking to get that little bit of edge, to maybe
not even just an edge, just
or to start your body moving in a good way.
Yeah, if you're hurting or if you feel like you've got issues and you just like aren't, you're tired. That's a big thing.
If you're in your 30s or 40s and you're saying, well, I'm just in my 30s or 40s, I'm supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
So look into doing something, change something. Don't just you have this YOLO. You only have one life. Don't say, well, that's it. That's my life.
Yeah,
just try to change things, fix things.
Yeah.
Like, and even to do it for a month, right? Like that's the way I thought about it. Like, okay, let's say this carnivore diet it is not the right way.
Yeah.
Well, okay, is 1 month really going to destroy you?
No.
No. Do it for a month, and go back and eat your rice or whatever you want.
Actually, that might be a even bigger tell. Like if you go back on the other side and see how you feel.
Yep,
that
for
might
sure.
be a good...
It's just a severe elimination diet.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next week with Dr. Kenny Wilstead, and we're gonna have some funny dental talk.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thanks for joining us.
Bye. Happy night.